Hello, and welcome to Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. My name is Susie Parker Goins. I'm a channel, energy healer, guide. I loved looking at past lives, helping you resolve them, and there are just so many things I love doing. And if I don't know how to do it, I can certainly tell you who I do know who does. But my links are in the description box for the websites, podcasts, financial support opportunities, and my contact information. So please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, donate. Help support me, please. I'm grateful for your support in this endeavor, and I want to continue doing it. But the best way to contact me about where I'm going to be online or hopefully one day in person and to schedule an appointment, find out about current pricing, is to contact me through email at susiepgoins@gmail.com. Of course, that's going to be in the description box. So again, thank you for your support. So this is week 6 of my 7-week chakra series. So we're talking about the what, where, why, how, care, and feeding of your chakras. I'm going to tell y'all a secret, though. Not going to be a secret much longer, but it's going to be 8 weeks because I'm going to cover like 2 to 4 other chakras the following after I'm supposedly done with this. So here we go. What are the chakras? Yeah, I've been saying this. This is week 6 of saying this, but let's go for it. So chakra is the Sanskrit word for wheel. Chakras are energy vortices that are all over our bodies, not only within the body, but outside of the body. There are at least 108. Evolution is an amazing thing. So everyone has chakras, even animals. And in general, they emanate from the front and back. But the more I learn, the more I understand that that's not always the case. The root and the crown chakra emanate downward and upward respectively, and other ones do. Healthy chakra is a nice horn shape close to the body, expanding out, and it's opening and it spins in a clockwise manner. Imbalanced chakras spin counterclockwise generally, and they can be bent, closed, or clogged. So today's featured chakra is the third eye, or the Ashna. Right, I got it right. The Ashna Chakra, and that's located between your brows. I've also seen places where it's just a little bit above, making like kind of a triangle between your eyes and your chakra. It's where the pineal gland sits. And let's see. Okay, yeah, so we can move on. So the corresponding point on your hand is this first knuckle here at the base of your thumb. No, the base of the thumbnail. Oops, sorry. And I'm not going to stop. So it's at the base of your thumbnail, right there. Both hands. It's also on your feet. It's at the base of that big toenail on that first knuckle. Its color is indigo red. It's indigo blue. I used to describe indigo as being that nice new blue jean color, but times have changed. Here I come being an old lady, all this fashion with this already distressed jeans. I remember when I bought jeans brand new and they were that perfect color, and it took me so long to wear them, to get them all worn out properly and all faded, and I'm over that now. Okay, so I'm done. But it is a deep blue. It's almost purple. It's a deep, deep blue, darker than this one. And I can be good with that. Its element is light, and it's the seat of intuition, extrasensory perception, or, like that seeing beyond the physical, vision, wisdom, inner guidance, self-knowledge, and detachment. Its tone, the syllable is Om, whether you spell it O-M or A-U-M, I don't know. A balanced Ashna, or third eye, it manifests as intuition, charisma, imagination, that Buddhist sense of a detachment, so you're not really attached to material things, an informed trust, and self-awareness. Now, a weak third eye can play out as frustration, lack of clarity, and inability to plan, indecision, confusion. It's hard to focus. You fear the truth, and there's a lack of creativity. Now, an overactive Ashna is that anger, that frustrated anger, like that, can't you see? Can't you see what's going on? And it's somebody who won't be swayed from that. Like, I have no problem with conspiracy theories. Many of them are absolutely based in truth. But there are some folks I know who are just like all conspiracy theory all the time. And I think that would be an overactive third eye. Nightmares. Nightmares can be a manifestation of an overactive chakra because your subconscious is unleashed during sleep time, and so it can bring up all of that stuff. So too much imagination going on there. Completely ungrounded, being in the physical world. Some of those folks you call spacey, but can also be construed as mental health issues. Again, this is not diagnostic. This is YouTube. I am not a doctor, nor have I ever played one on TV. And then what else? Oh, those who are religiously dogmatic, like so entrenched in what I would call an artificial interpretation of scripture or whatever, anything, they're so immovable from that. They don't see that overarching etheric portion of it. Okay, and then a blocked Ashna, again, it could be depression or anxiety. No diagnosis, just throwing it out there. I do encourage you that if you are dealing with this, then use complementary means to seek help, professional help. Because, right now we all need to pull together and trust each other and help each other, okay? There, that's my PSA. So next off for a blocked one is an inability to forgive. Now, I know forgiveness is such a complex issue, but my take on it is that forgiveness is not condoning a behavior, but integrating it or releasing its impact on me to the point where I can move forward. So it's still part of my history. I'm not just erasing it, but I am putting it in a perspective to where I can move on and therefore reclaim my energy from whoever did whatever they did or back from that situation. It doesn't exclusively define you anymore. Does that resonate? I hope so. And then, let's see. Otherwise, okay, moving on. An inability to connect with intuition. That's kind of a given. I mean, there's some people who refuse to connect to their intuition. I've been told that they were afraid. And it's like, well, okay. And then finally, some folks are too logical, and that would be a disconnect from the crown chakra, from the third eye chakra. Sorry, Mr. Spock. God, I love you. There can even be physical symptoms of a blocked third eye. Not diagnosing here, but just throwing it out there. So look at headaches. Now, some headaches could be caused during a meditation process, which is actually a healing crisis from actually opening the third eye. But if you're not meditating and you do have headaches, that could be a blocked or dysfunctional third eye. Next up are all sinus issues, because they're all in this area here. Now, I remember years ago I used to have raging sinus infections, and a reader told me that it was because I had all of this stored up, unreleased anger, and that was before I was doing things like paying attention to how I was feeling and my body like that. And so as soon as I resolved the anger, a lot of my sinus infections went away. Also, because we're talking about here and it affects the physical area here, vision problems, she says, wearing her glasses. That's interesting. When I am doing a reading and I'm channeling and the third eye is way open, my guides take off my glasses so I can talk. They're so cute. They're so clever. What else? Insomnia. Because, some sleeplessness can be caused by fear or overthinking. So trusting your intuition would allow you to calm down and move to that level. So how do we open or balance the third eye chakra? Well, first off, you can use toning, and this one is another way of using sound, not only crystal bowls or those sound baths, those are amazing. You can use affirmations. Here are some to start with, like, I see all things with clarity. I am guided by my inner vision. I am comfortable using my imagination. I trust my intuition or spirit guides, which can be a manifestation of your intuition. I make wise decisions using my intuition, and I am open to exploring that which cannot be seen. Next up, you can use color. Oh, that color indigo, whether you wear it or meditate on it or surround yourself with it somehow, all that sort of stuff. Start a dream journal, because that's connected to the third eye. When you start a dream journal and write down what it is you dream about, then not only do you have a record of them so you can review them later, it encourages your body, your intuition to play out at night, because that's what we do. Our souls go dancing out into the universe on all the dimensions. So when we bring back information, frequently it is helping us identify these psychic gifts. Let's see. Meditation is definitely a third eye activity, stimulating third eye. Meditation, and I've got Monday meditations there, and so you can do guided ones. We just had a talk about that at Winnie's Angels Tacoma Craft and Psychic Fair, so TCPF, just last night, and meditation was the topic. And meditation doesn't have to be sitting in a lotus position for hours on end. It can just be a matter of breathing with intention. That's the way I start off my intentions, my meditations online. So just take a few moments to breathe and quiet your mind. And as you get more comfortable with it and your mind learns to quiet down, then you can open up to the premonitions, to all the psychic gifts that you have. Next off would be coming from a place of mindfulness. Again, acting with intention. Whether you set your intention before you start a new project, or you set intention when you breathe in love, breathe out love, that sort of thing. That can help you connect with Source. That's part of that meditation thing. Next on, actually actively calling on your intuition. I used to do this thing called penny drives. So I would take a lot of pennies with me, because I can't tell you how many pennies I lost in my car. But I would just drive around. Just kind of, driving around, whether I had a kid I was trying to get to sleep, or I would just need a break from everything. And I would drive. And when I got to an intersection or someplace where I needed to make a choice about which direction I was going, I would flip a penny, and however many I needed to actually catch it. Or I would start listening to my spirit guides. I would say, which way do I need to go? And I would hear it. And then I would go that way, and I would either be led someplace or, initially it was just to get you started and connected with your intuition, to get you listening. Next off are yoga asanas. There are several you can practice. And so I am going for the easiest ones here. So that shoulder stand, while it's useful, it's not one I'm going to describe here, because I am still no yogi. And we are way out of I'm going to recommend only the poses I can do aisle, because obviously, and most likely, I still can't do them. So these are 3 of the simplest ones. Okay. So first off, Michelle Fondine from the Chopra Center, she recommends any pose in which your forehead touches the ground. So the child's pose, the Balasana, and the dolphin pose are encouraged. And then the yoga journal kicks in with the standing half forward bend pose. So real quickly, a summary of how to do those. The child's pose, or the Balasana, it's a pose of rest. It seems that it's used in between other poses to give you time to reflect or to turn your sights inwards while you do it. So to do it, and I do recommend the Yoga Journal's website. They have good, excellent explanations, far better than these, and clear videos. Okay, so let's see, the child pose. Let's see, I gotta find my notes about that. To do it, blah, blah, blah. So you're kneeling on the floor. Here we go. Here's the description part. You're kneeling on the floor. Your toes are touching behind you, and then you sit on your knees, on your heels. You sit on your heels, and you open your knees about as wide as your hips. And using your breath, you lay your torso in between your thighs. Your hands and your arms, your hands are palm up, are beside your torso, and your head touches the floor. And then to come up from it, you breathe, you lengthen the torso, and lift from the tailbone to come back up. Next off is the dolphin pose, and that one you start out with that table pose. So you've got your knees, you're on your hands and knees flat back, and everything's all properly lined up. And then you place your forearms on the floor, and then holding your palms together, and your forearms are on the floor, your palms are together, and your wrists are in alignment with your shoulders. And then you curl your toes under and exhale, and then you lift your knees up over the floor. So that's kind of that, but your elbows are on the floor, your forearms are on the floor. And of course, when you first start practicing this pose, your heels aren't going to touch the floor because you've got to increase flexibility, and the same with your hamstrings. And then, using your breath to release. And then finally, the standing, I have to read this title because I keep saying it wrong. The standing half forward bend, or Ardha Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Okay, moving on. So to start, your feet are about hip width apart. And as you get better at it, you can put your feet together. And then you lengthen your spine and you fold over gently. You'll feel your hamstrings talking to you. And you may not be able to completely fold over in half. Sometimes you may need to support your hands. Put your hands to support a flat back on your knees. But you're beginning that fold over. And you got to start somewhere. So I'm using your breath. I found that when I was doing yoga, I could breathe and relax a little bit more and deepen the stretch. Your arms are palms down on the floor, and they support you a little bit, so you're not just hanging on the floor. Your head's not wobbling around. And then you use your breath to come up. I remember rolling up when I was doing theater, so you use your breath to help straighten you up that way. Okay, so now on to the asanas. Now these I can do. The first one is you hold your hands at the lower edge of your ribs, and of course that's out of frame, so I'm going to do it up here. Your left hand can sit. Let's see, what is this one? I'm skipping forward. Okay, so you hold your hand at the lower edge of your ribs. Your middle fingers touch together, they extend and they're touching, and then all your other fingers fold in at the first knuckle. Even your thumbs. Folding in. There we go. How easy is that? Okay, and now the other one is, that's when your left hand is sitting on your thigh, and your right hand, your ring finger curls in, and then your middle index and thumbs touch together with your pinky extended, and you touch on your third eye point. and that's when you can meditate or chant. Next up are essential oils. Yeah, essential oils, and yes, don't ingest these. Use a carrier oil if you're going to apply them to your skin, or use a diffuser. Use them in meditation or however you want. So what we're doing is looking at oils that enhance a meditative or calm state. And also there are ones that help with headaches or migraines or even eye problems. So for the calming, helping you get into that meditative mood, there's patchouli, which truly smells like steak sauce on me. I love that smell, but not on me. There's patchouli, rose, neroli, sandalwood, lavender, which is good for all of the chakras in general, frankincense, and, among some. I mean, there's just so many more, but there are also EOs, which help alleviate headaches and sinus problems, like tea tree, peppermint, eucalyptus, jasmine, and rosemary. Oh, and in particular, clary sage is one of those that can be helped in opening the intuitive aspect. I've seen it used in divination, teas, and blends. So now we're moving on to food. I know it doesn't seem like there's a lot of purpley kind of foods, like they're plums and goji berries. There's lots of antioxidants in that. Checking my notes, let me see what else. Okay. Blackberries, Concord grapes, acai, purple carrots, prunes, which are dried plums, purple lettuce, and eggplant, purple potatoes. So, okay, there's a lot more purple food than I thought. Cool. You can also do raw walnuts and sprouted almonds and wheat germ. Water is really good, but like city water is not great because that's fluoridated and it's got all of these chemicals in it. But if you can find spring water, some kind of well water, I have an artesian well in the area, that would be really good. Now, a few resources recommend that detoxifying from heavy metal, not the music, but the minerals, and external stimuli can help with your intuition, and that makes sense. I mean, that's what meditation facilitates, is breaking away and releasing those attachments, getting you away from external stimuli or the media and to focus inward, turn your focus inward, mushrooms can help with detoxifying from heavy metals, or I think it's called chelation, Chelating. Then that means that chlorella and cilantro, they're very good for chelation too. Now, still in the herb thing, we've got in the plant land, we have herbs. So not only the herbs that you can distill those essential oils from, these are some that would be good in teas, and they help not only with the calming aspect of opening up your third eye, but also headache relief and vision problems. So I always encourage you to consult somebody who's experienced in the particular field you're looking at, whether it's yoga or essential oils or herbs. Lots of them around. I know a few. Hit me up if you want to know who I know. So some of these herbs would be dill, thyme, juniper, valerian. It tastes like dirty socks, but it calms me down so much to where I just don't care. Mugwort, which I have seen used in divinatory teas, and mint. So now, my favorite part, crystals. You can use crystals, tickly nose. You can use crystals in jewelry to meditate with them, have them around you, carry them with you. So these are in general kind of a purple color, kind of purpley. I'll talk about them as we go. So amethyst, it seems I just can't get enough of amethyst. That's a very protective stone that connects you with spirit. It's a very spiritual stone. It aids in healing. It's very calming, and it helps you gain clarity. Fluorite, which shows up in different colors, but of course I'm focusing on the purple fluorite, And that's a stimulant. It stimulates and balances the chakras, not a stimulant as in zooming all over the place, but it stimulates and balances the chakras. It dispels negativity. I think that's cool. And it promotes intuition, clarity, and focus. Next up is Charowite. This is a relatively new stone for me, but I finally have found earrings that work. So, of course, I'm not wearing them. Oh, well. But it is a very powerful spiritual stone, and it reminds you to live in the moment. Have that detachment. Let go of the past. Don't worry about the future. It helps you clean out emotional clutter. So as you clean out the clutter, you can bring in other things. So that release helps you get out of your own way, and you can develop psychic gifts. This is what this chakra is about. It's also called the Stone of Insight, and it heals the body, mind, heart, and spirit, and it removes negativity from your life. I think that's very cool. Lapis Lazuli, I talked about that one last week, and it has that connection with the throat chakra, but it also, the deep blue and the gold flecks that just can put you in mind of looking out at the night sky and looking into just that part of the universe you can see, which is what intuition does. It connects you to the universe and to the expansiveness of the universe. It helps you with detachment from the material world, and it helps with dream recall too. I didn't realize that. Azurite, oh, that is such an amazing color. It's a little bit darker than lapis from what I think I have, but it also activates and expands the third eye, and therefore opens you up to your psychic abilities. Labradorite, it's another highly spiritual and protective stone. It connects you with your psychic gifts, and it shields you from negative influences and supports empaths and seers. So if you're working on your psychic ability, Labradorite's a really good one to have on hand. And finally, Iolite, which I just happen to have here, and you can't tell squat about it from the lighting and anything else, but it's a very gentle stone. It heals and balances, and let me get back in frame, and activates the third eye. It increases the energy to second sight. So you could actually put an iolite, frankly, any of these stones. Oh my. You could put any of the stones on the third eye while you're meditating or just hanging out with them. And that will help expand your imagination. Iolite specifically expands the imagination, but any of these stones you could put on your third eye to help support it. So again, you can use these in jewelry or in meditation. And I think these might be safe to use in gym elixirs. At least these are. Not all stones are, but that's a topic for another podcast. Again, this is not a complete list by any means. Explore on your own. This is just a good jumping point to get you started. And so until next time, blessings.